Whew. Happy Friday, everyone. I am so happy to be here for a couple of reasons. One is I just recently woke up. I always like to kind of relax a little bit before the beginning of my show, and I laid down for a little while. I just went into a total deep sleep. My son came for a quick visit, and it's like, whoa, so here I am. You are watching episode 31 of the Hangout with Penny show. And this is going to be a fun show. We're talking about, have you ever desired for that dream vehicle and you've thought about what you wanted and then you've thought, I could never afford it? Well, when it comes to the law of attraction, it's all about vibes. So I'm going to share with you this evening on how I attracted, without even knowing it, my vehicle and what led me up to sharing it with you this evening. So yes, hi everybody, this is episode 31 of the Hangout with Penny show. My shows are weekly, every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. So many people are making a habit of watching the Hangout with Penny show. And the beauty of this is it gets recorded. So I'm live right now, but it gets recorded so that it goes out on YouTube. So it's always available to watch later on. So thank you for the people that watch the recordings. So tonight, I was away for a couple of weeks, which most of you know. And so many of the ladies were emailing me or messaging me saying, oh, it was like a Friday girls' night out. And yeah, it feels like that. And I was so happy to hear that, because that was kind of the intention that I had when I began these shows way back last July. So I've almost been on the air, it'll be this July, coming up for a whole year. So yeah. So that was my intention, was because many of us find ourselves alone on Friday night. A lot of us have friends that have spouses, or we just, for whatever reason, we're alone, and it can be lonely. And so that's why I decided to start these shows, just so they could be fun, and I could just teach you a little bit about the law of attraction and how it's so important about the things we say to ourselves, so we can become, yeah, maybe we are alone on Friday night, but we can make it, we can find something that can make it a really good night. So, for those of you that have been watching the Hangout with Penny show for the last 30 episodes, and maybe this is your first time watching, one of the favorite things I like to do is find a wine for the night. And the wine I had last week was for A to Z for Canada and the UK. And so Linda, you're very welcome. And I got your email. Oh, I will respond. It was just, I was surprised and touched. So thank you very much. Anyway, so for tonight's wine, look what I got. Can you read that? Oh, backwards. Girls' night out. We got a girls' night out. However, I'm going to save that wine because I'm drinking water. I have a friend that's we're going to be supporting each other, because I wanted to do my juicing, because I love juicing. I love juicing, and I decided that it was time to start up again. And so I'm drinking water with a little bit of cranberry, but I will drink that wine with you on one of these Fridays. So cheers to girls' night out. I love water. It's so good for you. So I'm just going to move that in case I get talking with my hands. You may have noticed, for those of you that have been making me a weekly event. First of all, so we're going to talk about how to attract your ideal vehicle and not even have to pay for it. So the Hangout with Penny show, weekly show, and like I said, the reason I started was to have so you can have company on a Friday night, but it's also to teach you about the law of attraction, to help you understand it a little more clearly. It's all about being deliberate in our thoughts, because it's a feeling. So what we portray out there, what our vibes are going out there is what we're going to get back. So it was my intention with this show to inspire and empower you and to uplift you, just to make you feel that, yeah, I can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So I noticed there's a few comments out in the comment area, so I'd just like to take a second. I'm going to read a few. And, oh, I'm just going to put my glasses on. CJ Gilbert. Hi, CJ. I'm in the process of attracting a new car right now. Love some more ideas for lessening the doubts. You might be surprised when I tell you my story. Kathy Caldwell. Hi. Happy Friday, everyone. Watching from beautiful Blenheim, Ontario. And all I can say is make mine red. Me too. Troy Davidson. Happy Friday. I was able to get a great affordable vehicle earlier this year. It was a model similar to my last car. Also, the person who sold it to me rarely sells those kinds of cars. He happened to come by it. By an unusual event. Sounds about right. Well, that sounds about a law of attraction to me. Hi, Tana Marshall. She says, I'll be watching the recording, but as always, I'm with you in spirit. Have a great show, Penny. Jackie McLean. Hi, Jackie. So stay tuned, because Jackie McLean's going to be on our show very soon. We're going to be talking about self-hypnosis, and she's going to guide us through a self-hypnosis procedure. So I'm excited about that. So she says, OMG, this is so amazing. It reminds me of my own vehicle attraction about 10 years ago, and it was a convertible. Awesome, Jackie. Valerie Womack, she's watching. Hi, Valerie. Okay. Let me find out where I am again. There we are. Here I am. Oh, yeah. The comments I received last week. Thank you so much. I'm going to read a couple on the air because I really like to acknowledge my, oh, I didn't get my card out. But anyway, all my friends that leave comments and I just appreciate them so much. And so you deserve to be acknowledged for that. And so I like to do it on the air. So Angela Morrison Holmes, she says, welcome back, Penny. So glad you had the clear vision. So we're talking about episode 30 here for those of you that are just joining for the first time. So you might want to go back and check that. There's 30 episodes prior to this one, hangoutwithpenny.com. So she says, welcome back, Penny. So glad you had the clear vision to take the time you needed to regroup and refocus. I really did. Life is a wonderful experience if we care to look at it for what it is. Thank you for all that you do. Life is a wonderful experience, and at every minute we have so much to be grateful for, and sometimes we are given little reminders, or big ones, to enjoy every moment. Thanks for your comments. I really appreciate them. Thank you, Angela. Angela Morrison Holmes. Thank you so much. Casey Rose. He says, great show, Penny Peddie. Keep up the good work. You inspire me more than you'll ever know. Well, Casey, you inspire me too, so thank you for that. And I'll read one more from Joy Colson. And she says, what a great show, Penny. I love your openness, honesty, and willingness to share your real situations, real life situations. I got so much out of this show and can't wait to rewatch it. Hugs. Thank you, Joy. You know, I wasn't really sure about what it would be like to share my own life stories, but the whole idea is to be real. I just want to be real so that people can feel that it's okay to be real. I'm a law of attraction trainer. I coach people. And yet, I'm just like everybody else. I have my real high vibes days, and then sometimes I have my times where I need to like chill and relax. So I do. So you want to know how I got my car? Well, I'm going to start with just a recent event I attended on Tuesday evening. Now, I was a guest speaker. I give a PowerPoint, a power tip talk on, because I'm a health and wellness coach as well. So I was at the Wasaga Beach Women in Business Association monthly dinner meeting. And this was my first time attending, so I was excited. And a beautiful, beautiful group of women. And so I was invited and I spoke on the law of attraction. Now, ideally, I wanted to speak about negativity and, you know, how we can reduce the negativity in our business and in our life. However, it was a very short power talk, so I had like 5 minutes. So when I got up there, I thought, I think I'm going to change my strategy a little bit. And I thought it would be more beneficial for me to talk about how our negative self-talk really hurts us. And so that's what I talked about. And it was really great. I had fun. I really enjoyed myself. So it's time to leave. And I'm in the parking lot and I'm ready to leave, and I'm seeing all these really like nice vehicles. I'm like, Then I start thinking, I want a new vehicle, because I'm watching all these really nice vehicles go by. I'm like, I want a new vehicle. Then it dawned on me, this is just my ego talking. It's just my ego talking. I know what kind of vehicle I want. I have it all set up now. I know exactly what kind of vehicle I want. But the vehicle I have right now is my law of attraction story that I'm going to share with you. Several years ago, my son, he started to be an entrepreneur very early on in his early age, and he became a paper delivery boy, and he would deliver papers, and he did that grade school right up, and then he went on to pump gas. He did all these things to be in the public, which was really leading him up to doing the career he has right now, and he's a sales manager at a very prestigious car dealership. So he worked his way up, and it started as delivering papers. But during that time that he delivered papers, when he was able to get his driver's license and take the vehicle on his own, he would have fun with my vehicle. So every once in a while there'd be a new ding in my car, and I'm like, not me, right? He'd be like, not me. I don't know, Mom, wasn't me. So I let it go. Well, 2010, I was thinking, I loved my car. I had a Mercury Cougar, sports car, loved it. But where I lived, I had to drive quite a distance, 45 minutes each way to work and back. And so it put a lot of kilometers, a lot of miles on my car. So I started thinking about, I'm going to need a car pretty soon. Like, my car's getting miles, so I'm going to need one pretty soon. So I started thinking, what kind of car do I want? Like, I don't want black. That was for sure. I don't want black. And I don't want another Standard. No, I don't want another Standard. And I don't want another two-door. No, I don't want another two-door. And this particular brand of vehicle, I'm like, no, I don't want that kind of brand. So I'm telling you all the things I don't want. I don't want black. I don't want two-door. I don't want a certain brand. And what was the other thing I don't want? Anyway, I'll come back to it. And but I knew I wanted a sunroof, and I knew I wanted power windows, and I knew I wanted to have a stereo, and I knew I wanted another sports type of looking vehicle. So I had this in my mind, but I didn't really get clear because I wasn't ready to buy a vehicle. I wasn't ready to buy it. So I just kind of like put that out there. I don't want black. I don't want a Standard vehicle, and I don't want a two-door, and I don't want to. Well, my son had already moved down to Wasaga Beach. I was still living up north. I came home for Mother's Day. I came to visit, and it was Mother's Day, and my son says to me, you want to go for a drive? Oh, well, first of all, he says, Mom, when are you getting a new car? I said, I don't know, I've been thinking of it. And I said, why, do you have a penny car? Because we always teased about my cars. They're just always penny cars. So he says, well, let's go for a drive. So he was working at the dealership. He pulls in, he says, what do you think of that car? It was black. It was a nice looking car, but it was black. I said, well, that's nice. So he said, take it for a drive. So I go take it for a drive, and he said, what do you think of it? I said, it was nice. He said, it's yours. Picture it with tinted windows and spoiler, like I'm going to decorate. I said, what? He said, it's yours. He said, I'm making up for all the times that I took your car. And he says, I didn't really treat it that well, so I'm just making up for it. So this is your Mother's Day gift. He bought me a car. This car had 2-door. It was black. It was a standard. And it was the particular brand that I said I didn't want. It had a stereo. It had a sunroof. It had power windows. And it was a sports car. I had everything that I put out to the law of, everything that I emitted out there, I got. So why I wanted to do this show was every moment we are pre-sending. So I had pre-sent my order out to the universe. I didn't know when I was going to get it. That's the beauty of the law of attraction. That's why I wanted to share this story with you, because the sooner we can get clear on what we want and just let it go. I didn't say, oh, I can't afford it. I just said, when the time's right, I'm pretty soon I'm going to be in the market for a new car. So I didn't get clear in enough time. The law of attraction was orchestrating for that to happen for me. And that particular vehicle I still drive. And it taught me a big lesson when I was driving out of the parking lot the other night at that meeting. It's like, wait a minute, Penny, it's just your ego right now. Think of the reasons why you have this car. Think of how you got this car. My son bought, this car is special. This car means a lot to me. So just because my ego thinks I should be driving a newer and bigger and better car, no. This car means a lot to me. And yeah, again, sooner or later, I'll need another vehicle. And that one, I have it picked out all together, right down. I've got my list, so I've just put that out. So whenever you're in the market for anything, whether it be a new car, get clear. Get clear on, so what do I want? Because when we give attention, the law of attraction, positive and negative vibes, right? So when we give attention to the things we don't want, you're actually giving attention to that very thing. You're telling the universe. And it's like, oh, it doesn't understand the don't part. It just hears standard. It just heard black. It just heard 2-door. It just heard that brand. And it heard sunroof, and it heard stereo. And these are exactly what I was delivered to me for free. So it can happen at any time. You never know who's going to be. Well, the thing about the law of attraction is we can't even think that big of all the ways that we can receive something in our life. So it's just be open to receiving, for one thing. We can block off our receiving valves. We shut them off, just like if you go to your water tap, you shut it off. So we can block off by saying, oh, no, I can't afford it, or I'll never get that. And we're shutting the valve off. I left the valve open. I just saying, yeah, I'm in the market sooner or later. Sooner came. So I love my car. And one day I'll be getting another one, law of attraction style. And whenever you have a desire of your heart, something that you truly want, just share it with only people that are going to support what you want. Because it can then sabotage, or it can dilute that, because it's all about vibrations, right? So if you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to get this car, and then you go and tell your brother, your sister, or your neighbor, and they're like, why would you want something like that for? You know that that's not economical. Do you know the price of gas? You know the price of insurance? Da 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 da. And now you go like this to like this. So on the high vibe scale, you're bringing your vibes down. You know, it could have been ready to come to you the next day. We don't know. That's the beauty of the law of attraction. So I love this. Michael Loge taught us all about this. It's our words, right? So we use our words. They create a thought. Oop. Guess I can't put my face and this in the same time. So they create thoughts, which then will create vibes. right? So every time we're thinking about what we want, that is sending out a vibe. So the vibe of, I don't want black, that vibe was black, according to the law of attraction and the way the principle works. So what color do you want? Silver. My other car was silver. I love that color. No. Did I say I want another silver one? No. All I focused on was I didn't want black. But you know what? My son does a good job at keeping that nice and shiny for me. So I like that because that's our results. So if you ever want to get a vehicle for free, it's possible. I'm living proof of it. It can happen to anybody. And I'm sure, or for a really good deal. So I'm sure that there's many, many, many stories out there of law of attraction, people attracting things into their life that they didn't have to pay for. Vacations. How many times have you said, oh, I'd love to go there, but I can't afford it? I've been on vacations that I didn't have to pay for. I'm proof of that again. There's so many things that when it comes to the law of attraction, we can really sabotage the results we're getting in our life because we just, like it again, we shut off the receiving valves. So whenever you think about something, it's like, what do I want? Get clear on it, and then just let it go. Just like, yeah, well, I'll just let the law of attraction. So rather than saying, I can't afford this, or I'll never afford that, get clear and just say, well, the law of attraction's done it for other people. Maybe it's my turn. That's certainly a better feeling thought than I can't afford it. Take money out of the equation. Just get clear on what you want. And then sometimes, like magic, it just shows up. So let me have a peek out here. Oh, CJ, she says, love it. Great example of being clear on what you really want. And it's so true. And it's like, oops, I don't know where you went. There we go. So it's like everything in life. So that's my message for today is my ego was getting in the way. And I just thought, what's the real, how do I feel towards this car? And when you can love what you have, when you love what you already have, and when you're grateful for what you already have, the law of attraction just loves to give you more. To give you more. And so I know, just from my experience, that I know that when the law of attraction, when the universe is ready to deliver, it'll either be I get a really good deal on the exact car, or anything can happen. That's the motto of my show. Anything can happen. So you've been watching the Hangout with Penny show. It is a weekly show, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you for making a habit, and thank you for your support. This is probably going to be a short show this evening, and I like to sometimes, even for myself, when I'm searching for videos on YouTube and so forth, it's like, oh, if it's too long, I'll say, oh, Judy, Gary, and I were just having a conversation about this. And we were saying, if it's too long, we sometimes will just bypass that and say, oh, I'll come back to it later. And, well, later sometimes doesn't show up because we get busy. So I'm going to really try and stick to keeping my shows at 30 minutes or less. I have a particular message I want to share on the certain show, and tonight was the message about get clear on what you want, because at any time that law of attraction could just like boom, there it is, new car. I drove down one car and I drove home with another. Well, it wasn't exactly like that, but you know, I had a new car to drive home with. So can you attract your ideal vehicle for free? Yes. I did. So thank you very much, everybody, for hanging out with me on Friday night. And I will see you next Friday, episode 32. And we will connect up then. I so appreciate you being out with me for tonight. And that's a wrap for this evening. So we will see you next week. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hey, you can go to my hangoutwithpenny.com, sign up for those of you that are just new, and I will send you the link every Friday, or before the show, so that you can just, it's sent right to your email. Or there's also a place when you watch the video, you can sign up at my YouTube channel. So I guess that's it. Oh, I have an announcement. Oh, see, I was sleeping, so I didn't get all my cards out. But but I have a Geek Plus community. Google.com/plus Penny Peddie is my community. Go join there. I'm going to be starting doing some videos, and I'm just working on the titles right now, but it's on Purpose with Penny, and there's going to be a 5-part series on preceding your day the positive way. So it's going to be some tips on how you can start your mornings. It's going to be 5 videos. It's only going to be available in my community. So go on over there and sign up, because that's going to be starting really soon. All right, having said that, when we're not hanging out here, we're going to hang out there. So we will talk to you next week. Bye, everybody. Thank you.